Welcome back to the Tool Shed. When I'm working with clients, one of the messages I get over and over again from them, it's a message they've gotten from the people around them, the doctors around them, society around them, is anxiety is bad, right? Anxiety is bad. We have an anxiety epidemic. People are on more anti-anxiety medications than human history. I mean, I forget the data, but it's staggering. Now, I'm not telling you not to take anti anxiety medication. It has its place, absolutely. But first and foremost, we need to challenge the way we talk about or think about anxiety because it is not bad. So, let me give you some examples of it not being bad. I am anxious every time I get in the car with my 15-year-old daughter, soon to be 16-year-old daughter, because she's trying to, learn the ways of the road to get her license. It brings me some anxiety. Now, that anxiety is good because it makes me remind her to buckle your seatbelt and look both ways before you turn and check your mirrors and all this stuff. Now, it can become neurotic, but that anxiety is healthy. I want to have some of that because it charges me up to remember to teach her things, how to change a tire or change her oil and all these things that I might not if I was just a little too, relaxed. There's a time and place to be relaxed. However, let's back up even further. If you have little kids, I want to be a little bit anxious about did I leave the stove on? Because, those kids, they tend to get themselves into trouble. Or even if I don't have kids and I left the house, did I leave the stove on? I might have done that. And, that can be a problem. Now, it can become a problem when I can't stop the anxiety and I can't have a good time because I'm out and about and I didn't turn the stove off and now I'm just worked myself into a frenzy and there's nothing I can do about it, right? It can cross into an unhealthy place. Anxiety serves a purpose. When I wake up at 3 in the morning and I'm thinking about my finances and I haven't done my taxes yet, that can dominate and take over. But it can also wake me up to go do my taxes or to think about, okay, I need to do them tomorrow and I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to go back to sleep. It's a fine line. There's an edge there that we cross over into unhealthy anxiety. The point is anxiety isn't bad unto itself. We need to reframe it and call it energy. Energy is neither good nor bad. It just is. Now, too much energy can overheat a system, a car or whatever, can overheat you. And not enough energy can, right? You have no gas in the tank, can deplete the car, can deplete you. It's about finding the right amount of energy at the right time, harnessing that energy. That's all anxiety is. So when the anxiety starts to come in at 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, and all those examples and so many more, it's not, is it good or bad? It's what is it? What is it trying to tell me? Can I do something with it? If I can't do something with it and I just let that energy spin around and around, that's not helpful. So sometimes if I can't effectuate change, I'm watching a lot about the Middle East and Israel and everything that's going on there. There's stuff I can do, and sometimes that anxiety or that energy gets me to take action. Sometimes there's nothing I can do. So I need to turn off the news. I need to expel some of this energy. When I'm working with clients, oftentimes I'll find out that they have too much coffee and that just generates more and more energy. Nothing wrong with coffee. I'm a big fan. But I know when I hit that threshold and now I'm just ingesting coffee and it's really causing me to have an energy overload, that's not good and it's amping up my anxiety. Sometimes I'll be working with clients and I'll find out they're not getting enough steps in, enough exercise. First thing we do is we talk about how can you expel some of this energy just physically, get back out into the woods, into nature. One of the reasons why we love the woods and nature is because it absorbs some of our energy by just being in it, by walking in it, by moving our bodies. And that's one way to deal with anxiety. Discharge the energy. You're never going to get all of this energy, all of this anxiety out of you. And you don't need to. Again, it's not bad. It serves a purpose. I have anxiety about death. It's not stifling. I wouldn't say I walk around scared, but I hear the tick-tock of the clock in the background, especially now that I'm north of 50, second half of life, well into the second half of life. That anxiety gets me up at 5 a.m. because I don't want to miss a day of writing. So I write in the morning for a couple hours. That anxiety is energy. I'm using it. I'm just not being used by it. And that's the point. It's not what the anxiety or the energy is. It's, are we being used by it or are we using it? If we're being used by it, we're victims. We're powerless. We have no agency. The work that we're here to do is to take back our power, our agency, and to figure out what is it? Where is it coming from? When does it come up? How does it present itself? When I start hunting my anxiety, I become the one who's in control. And I get to figure out what it is and where, why it is and what to do with it. And sometimes I'll want to get rid of it, and sometimes I'll want to embrace it and listen to it and use it, but not be used by it. And that's what it means to harness your anxiety. And it really does start with changing the way we talk about it, even changing the name of it, calling it energy. Energy is not good or bad. We just need to change forms to repurpose it, to harness that energy, harness the anxiety. And that's the tool, harnessing your anxiety.